City, California. You're listening to The Second Column with Joe, Mike, Carlos, and Sean.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Second Column podcast. It's just the guys this week. It's Mike, Carlos, Sean, and myself. Why don't we give ourselves a round of applause?
Yes.
For the guests that we usually do. Usually do that for our guests, but we haven't actually recognized ourselves.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, you know, when you start the show, you always say the same. It's the same response.
Yeah.
It sounds recorded. Like,
no, it's not.
It's the same response, right? Every time you go, hello.
Yeah, I always say, I welcome people, and I say the name of the show, and I say who's in the room.
It's always weird.
Just seems like the logical thing to do.
You should know, hi, guys. Hey, what's up?
I'll switch it up next time.
All right, you better.
You've challenged me, Carlos. I'll switch it up next time. Very, very exciting. One of our most avid listeners gotten kind of an email communication. I don't know what you call it. Like, he emailed us all week. He enjoyed and hated last week's show at the same time.
Yes.
Dave Pavlina, our buddy in Japan. And last week was when we ate the In-N-Out burgers in front of Phil, the guy who was starving for Darfur. Yep. And maybe other listeners had the same response, but Dave was a little bit sick into his stomach by listening to us chew food on the mic.
Yeah, he does hate chewing.
Now, let me read you what he wrote.
Dave's a bit neurotic.
No, Dave's actually
a bit.
I'm gonna stay. No, Dave's a sane individual. Dave wrote. You
can be sane and neurotic.
Dave wrote, "Good job,
no,
guys."
Mike, you're not sane.
Okay, Dave provided us with 5 bullet points. Ready? Here's number 1. Dave wrote, "Oh my God, the sound of you fuckers munching on burgers into the mic drove me nuts. Yeah. Mike, you got to learn to close your fucking mouth when you eat. It's worse than nails on a blackboard. I demand that you guys apologize for this next podcast."
Wow.
Mike,
I'm done apologizing.
And it's true. Anybody who's eaten within 15 feet of Mike knows that he is the loudest eater.
Oh, it's a show.
Except I actually had my mic muted while I was eating.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
And as I told, even if you
muted
your mic, the other 4 mics would have picked it up because you're such a loud chomper.
I'm not arguing.
You
with
are
it.
the loudest.
And why
eater.
did you mute your mic?
Yeah,
but I am saying
because he's such a loud mic.
Look, right.
I am saying that Dave is a little bit neurotic because back when he and I were hanging out quite a bit because he was in the United States. One day, I actually was in his room and he went to the bathroom, and Dave had a separate cup for pens and a separate cup for pencils.
Right.
And so one night, while I was gone out of his room, I put one of the pencils in the pen cup.
You
No
fucking
way.
rebel.
And he came in, and he sat down at his desk, and he said to me, he's like, "Oh, please don't do that."
All right,
and then he actually picked the pencil.
Oh wait, Mike's calling somebody neurotic.
Well, I know. Not only is that funny, but Mike has once again tried to change the subject off of his subject.
Yeah,
I'm not arguing with it. I know I'm
Mike
a loud
is the
eater.
loudest. Mike's eating with Mike it's an audio experience and a visual experience. It's
very visual,
it's a tactile experience. Like, you will probably get some on you.
I'm not arguing with it. That's why I muted
loudest
my mic
munching.
while I was eating.
It still got picked up on our
You're a
mics.
sick son of a bitch.
And Dave is right.
Constantine.
And Dave is right to call this out. We've all been thinking it for a long time.
Yep.
Okay. Next bullet point from Dave. Los equals robo host. Genius.
Thank you.
And the voice sounds a bit like my dad.
Hey, Dave.
Correct.
Then he wrote overdrive. You should work robo host into one of your live shows.
Maybe.
It's more of a hero style show.
We'll see.
So,
I think it's funny if he just keeps malfunctioning.
Yeah, exactly. Dave wrote to Mike. Mike, were you?
Joe thought that was a brilliant idea. You could tell.
Yes.
Well, there's lots of things you can do with RoboHost.
You don't want to malfunction all the time.
Yeah, it would just really wouldn't. I don't know how far you could take
The
that.
passive aggressive comedy duo.
Yes, very.
Yeah. Dave wanted to know why you were fucking with the pan. Your voice was going hard to the right at one point.
That's a little problem we've been having.
All right.
You got a problem.
Dave wrote. Here's where Dave gets credibility back with Mike. Dave wrote, "I like Mike's idea of an all-you-can-eat drive-through. I suggest having a boat system like It's a Small World. That way the cars aren't constantly circling the restaurant."
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a good idea, actually.
It defeats the purpose of the drive-through, though.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to make it happen, which is you got to go a long way to make one of Mike's ideas happen. So,
exactly.
God bless Dave. Question: why don't you plug your own live shows on the podcast?
That's a good
It's a
question.
good question. We should do that more often.
Oops.
You got us
we
there, Dave.
really haven't plugged one of our shows for quite some time.
Yeah.
Okay, so during this email tag that we played back and forth, Mike wrote back to Dave and said, I don't eat loud, I eat like a lordly king. And
Lordly.
No.
Wow.
I wrote back and I said, yes, I know I eat loud. I eat like a lordly king.
Thank God we.
Oh,
which is pretty much what I just said.
Oh, really?
You
Good.
said,
Thank you for that,
said
Al.
I don't eat loud,
No,
which would imply that I'm arguing with him. I agree with him.
okay, you do eat loud. Okay,
Yes.
so you're like a lordly king, right? Okay. So anyway, so there was this long email train going back and forth. So finally, Dave, in the spirit of last week's podcast, decided to write in an apology. So I'm going to read this apology from Dave Pavlina right now.
Sure.
It's at the top of the show. You guys feel free to jump in whenever you like.
Definitely.
Dearest Mike, I would just like to formally apologize for my hurtful comments and sour insinuations regarding both your method of eating In-N-Out burgers and your span of knowledge of English language vocabulary or lack thereof. You've been my best friend for over 12 years now, and I felt it was time to be undeviatingly honest with you.
That's where he loses all credibility with me.
Really? With his attempt to be honest?
No, with his being Mike's best
friend
friend
for 12 years.
Because if he's, I don't trust anybody that has an invisible friend, and I think that Mike doesn't exist.
We still haven't solved the question of whether
Yeah.
Mike exists. This is a very good point. It's a very good point.
I think he does.
I don't know. I think this is we're
He
going to have a
took me-
whole podcast.
He
about
took me
this
here, so I didn't
picked you up?
I didn't,
Yeah.
unless I was a ghost.
I think you drove the car, but you didn't even know.
Oh,
Yeah. Like, he was the
maybe.
manifestation of your
That'd
own
be
driving
awesome.
abilities. Exactly.
My subconscious.
Okay. In retrospect, it may have been best to have kept those said comments to myself.
Nope.
That's so
We-
he basically
I
just
wouldn't
said
have a place on this show if I had to keep comments about Mike to myself.
right. So basically, Sean, he just said, you know how he lost credibility by being friends with him for 12 years. He
Yeah.
basically just said he shouldn't have said that. So you guys are on the same wavelength. As I listened to the four of you gorge yourselves on In-N-Out burgers, my delicate ears were abruptly polluted by the nauseating cacophony of your smacking lips and mouths. It resembled a feeding frenzy of a pack of ravenous wolves
True.
as they
What?
descended upon an innocent collection of adorable baby chickens and sweet, appealing white rabbits.
Jesus.
I came
Yeah.
perilously close to vomiting my gourmet ramen lunch. I demand that you publicly apologize for this transgression.
So his apology was really asking us to apologize to
It
him.
gets better. Yes. Dave's apology demanded an apology.
Sure.
One smacking mouth sound particularly irked me, and I naturally assumed it was you, Mike. As both my best friend and having actually lived with you, I know that you have turn the page. The revolting habit of eating with your mouth open, as wide open as your fly after draining your hairy Italian lizard.
Oh.
Unfortunately,
Hairy
yes. Unfortunately, yes, I have seen it before.
Wow,
he
yeah.
says.
Oh, wow.
You skillfully dodged my accusation. However, I think your explanation that you turned off your microphone as you greedily feasted on In-N-Out is a crock of festering shit. But I'll be the bigger man, literally, and apologize anyways, you fucking open-mouth eating pansy.
Wow.
Knowing that In-N-Out isn't available in Japan, you ate it during your podcast just to spite me. You also did it to devilishly tease that charitable Vessel of the Angels guest of yours. And just goes to show you how much of an asshole you are.
Look
This
at-
is Dave's
Wow.
apology.
Look at Love this
I
guy.
know, Dave's apology is good.
It's funny because I'm looking at while you're reading that, I'm looking at Mike's face, and Mike hasn't even opened his mouth.
I
yet.
know.
It's really weird.
How do you respond to the truth?
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know.
This last paragraph. I also want to apologize for pointing out that you constantly misused the English vocabulary. Having spent the last 4.5 years in Japan, I will humbly admit that I have lost about 50% of my former knowledge of English. Nevertheless, I still retain enough of my native language to know that when it comes to any word over 3 syllables, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Wow.
Just ask Joe.
Jeez.
Now, there's a smart guy who knows what he's talking about. Joe, could you please explain the meaning of the word plight to Mr. Mike Constant burping teeny?
Yeah.
Mr.
Awesome.
Mike constantly burping teeny.
I made up that one.
Well, I guess that's it. I'm truly sorry from the bottom of my heart, you crybaby bitch.
Oh.
Love, Dave. P.S. Since I technically apologized, we're cool, right, Mike? Because I still need a place to crash when I'm visiting L.A. I can't stay at my parents' house anymore because you stole my dad from me. If you break his heart, I'll kill you.
Wow. That's scary.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I should point out the plight thing was there was again emails between Mike and Dave where Mike was saying what a good thing it was to get a bunch of blowjobs. It was the plight of man.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just a descent into madness. Mike,
What do you, Mike?
Mike, what do you make of this apology? What do you make of this? These
rebuttal.
words.
I cannot wait.
These words that Dave Pavlina
Well,
wrote.
as far as an apology, it's really nice of him because I wasn't really asking for an apology.
Did you listen
Yeah.
to it? Did you hear it?
It wasn't an
And,
apology.
were you
He did
listening?
apologize.
There was no apology.
If you start saying I apologize, that's an
I have nothing
apology.
to defend.
if I say I apologize for the fact that you're a fuckhead,
Yeah,
that's
an
not
apology.
It's
Right.
not. It's not an apology.
I think it is.
no. That's an
Yeah.
insult.
Well, yeah, but you start with apologizing. That's apologize.
Well, just because something starts with "I'm sorry."
Yes, it makes sense.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Mike, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, can I talk now?
Yes, Carlson.
Thank you.
Oh, jeez.
So-
Someone touched a nerve.
No, I just say, hey, I own up to it.
Well, you're right.
Yeah, because I chew loud. I can barely breathe through my nose sometimes. So yeah,
Me
when
too,
I eat,
buddy. Join the club.
Sometimes
Yeah, I know.
I chew with my mouth open because
I don't do that though.
And if I do have like kind of a really good meal in front of me, I will eat like a lordly king.
See,
Well, wouldn't that be more of a pig or another type of animal? What would it be? With
No.
the mouth open?
I think just a lordly king. That's
Maybe a pirate.
like
I
a
would say.
horse, like chewing
Oh,
cud.
there
More
we
like
go.
a lizard, like a
lizard,
hairy
yeah.
Italian.
Or
Hairy
alligator.
Italian
Alligator, maybe.
I see now me personally because now Mike and I are roommates now.
Cool.
I would
Oops.
rather Mike risk suffocation and keep his mouth
Yep.
closed while
Wow.
eating than
Yeah.
have you,
I agree.
like mouth open eating and enjoying. Just for everybody else.
Yeah, sometimes you got to sacrifice yourself for courtesy.
It's very true.
You know, sacrifice convenience for courtesy.
Like if Mike's eating, I'm on the other side of the house.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
I'm not anywhere
Throw a
near
fucking breathe right strip on there, partner, before a big steak
that.
dinner.
That's right.
Wait, you know what? You got to hear it when the food comes out.
What do you mean when the food comes out?
When he's taking a shit, that's even
What?
worse, buddy.
How does that work?
He's
Does
a
he
lot
shit
of-
with his ass open? Does he shit with his ass open?
A lot
What
of
is he-
moaning and groaning.
Oh no.
I'll tell you that much.
Oh no, I don't know anything about that. I don't
No.
wanna
Oh,
know.
you will in time, sir.
Oh
Yes.
no. Yeah, Dave. So Dave is quite sympathetic with with what it means to be near Mike when he eats.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, any girl who's with you for more than 3 dates is a saint. Like I'm saying it right now, because that's a hard thing to look at when you're eating. It's weird.
Yeah, well, that would explain my situation now, wouldn't it?
What's your situation now?
What was
That I'm single.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't explain your situation. It's not the reason you're single.
Did they ever say anything to you? Did anybody ever
Has
say
any girl
anything?
ever been
Yeah.
like, you chew cud like a cow? Has anybody ever said that?
No, usually when I'm around a girl, I try to contain it.
Well,
Oh.
There
all we
go.
ask for is that kind of
Yeah.
courtesy.
How
Yeah.
come-
What about if Joe put on a wig?
Oh, about time,
Again.
man.
I will put on a
Again.
wig if it quiets down.
I think you should.
the chewing. I will quiet
Oh my
down the
God.
wig.
I think he's getting mad.
Mike's sullen.
You're vain on
You're
your
sad.
head.
Don't
This-
be
this-
sad.
Nothing to argue
It's
about.
it's just who you are.
Uh-oh.
It's part of who you are.
All right.
Yes.
It's like my baldness or Carlos's big cock. It's just
Yeah, yes,
It's
I
part of
agree.
who we are.
I
What I
agree.
don't like is that you went to say Sean's big cock and you turned it to Carl.
no.
because I always go to Sean. I was like, we
Yeah.
got to.
No,
Thank
no,
you,
you
Joe.
go to Sean for like.
No, you
think
made-
Sean's
actually, you know
Irish
what?
fucking douchebag.
No, I was gonna say because your uncle made the small penis joke.
Yeah.
To you.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, no, can't go to Sean with that one. Got to go to Carlos.
You know, the
Yeah.
truth doesn't hurt. It will only set you free.
The truth hurts some people.
Yeah, it
It
does.
hurts some girls.
But in
I
a
was just
good
about to
way.
say,
In a very good
the
way.
truth hurt Joe last night in the back room.
Well,
Oh,
no,
I don't know about
not
that.
when you're ready.
All right.
When you're not ready, it could. hurt.
Yes.
So, well, good, Mike. It sounds like you're coming to some kind of a grudging acceptance of this part of you.
I never argued with it.
You are.
Thanks for the apology.
Why are you looking at me?
How are you
man?
mad
I
at
didn't-
Carlos?
Yeah, I didn't write it.
Mike's
I was
listening.
actually defending.
All right.
Well, kind of defending.
All right. Wait, here's where we take the heat off, Mike.
All right.
We talked about food going in. Now let's talk about food coming out. Sean, what is going on with you the last couple
Oh,
times
I
you come
know.
over?
No.
You've had problems. You've had
Yeah.
real problems.
What's going on, dude?
All right, well let me explain tonight. Tonight
And we will get to the column at some point, but
No, yeah,
got a lot
I-
of stuff to talk about.
No.
I clogged up Mike's toilet today.
Not
I
half
took
an
a
hour
giant
ago.
shit.
Yeah.
Let me explain what happened,
All right.
actually, because this one does have a story
What
behind it.
explanation
This is-
for a clogging
Yeah,
toilet?
there's usually
Yeah.
only one.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I didn't shit today, and let me tell you why. About 5 o'clock, I'm at work and I'm ready. I gotta take a shit before I head out.
So you're a night shitter.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not too much in the day. Maybe once after lunch, depending on what I have. But I'm getting ready to go do it, and I walk in, and the director of worldwide production at my company happens to be walking in behind me
Ooh.
to go to the bathroom, and I hit the door and I kind of look behind me, and then I do a double take, and then he notices me. And so as we walk in, before
Hey,
anything's
Sean.
outside of our pants and before our pants are down or anything like that, which is when in a men's bathroom, you got to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Before that happens, he starts talking to me about works. Hey, so how are things going? What are you guys up to? Well, I got to come by and check out what you guys are doing. So we have this little conversation, and I don't want to go into a stall anymore. Like, I'm like, I can't do this. Like, this is going to be bad. So I walked over to a urinal, unzipped my fly.
And pooped in the urinal.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Did you do that? Did you do that? No wonder you clogged
Unfortunately,
it.
no. I stood at the urinal
And did nothing.
with my fly down for about 2 minutes,
Wow.
zipped up my fly, flushed the toilet, washed my hands, and left.
The phantom piss.
The phantom
I've been
piss.
there. I've been there.
Carlos, you've taken some phantom pisses.
Yeah, yeah. One time I couldn't come out. Like I was very embarrassed.
Yeah.
At Dodger Stadium, you know how
Oh,
they have
the
that
trough.
trough.
I hate that.
I was
Yeah.
very, I don't know. Everybody looking, because it's just there's nothing dividers, so it's a trough, right?
I pissed next to Joe in a trough at the Forum when we saw
Oh
the
my
Foo
God.
Fighters.
I think we
That's
did.
scary.
Yeah. We
And so I-
cast some shadows on the wall that day, my friend.
Well, it was really funny too because I was trying to piss and I couldn't do it because I thought everybody was looking at me. And there was this kid who kind of just looked at me like saying, why are you not pissing? I'm like,
is this old guy not
I'm like, listen, kid, listen, you'll get there, all right? I know it's huge. I know my penis is huge, okay? But you don't have to be shy. I'm just too shy, all right?
So the little,
don't be scared.
The little kid guilted you.
Yeah, he kind of did.
Why aren't you peeing, mister?
Oh, God.
You have some kind of problem about pulling your dick out in front of people?
And
Mom says don't push too hard. It'll fly off.
And it was funny because I walked all the way back to my seat, and I still had the urge to piss. I felt the most defeated I think I've ever had in a while.
That's horrible. Yeah, you're better off just whizzing yourself.
Jeez.
All right, Sean, that's a decent excuse. Doesn't
Yeah.
explain the last few times you've come over.
No, I don't know what that was. I think one of them.
You killed two of our bathrooms in one night.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a bad
You
night.
fouled my bathroom and you fouled the guest bathroom
Yeah,
as well. It
that was just more of a challenge I had for myself.
You did. You did. You did kind of a shuffle.
Well, we all lost.
Yeah.
Amen.
Oh, man. Okay, before we get to the business, Carlos, did anybody text you back?
Yes, I
All
did
right.
get a text
So
back.
Carlos has been getting phantom text messages from somebody that he doesn't know who they are, asking him to buy a pair of shoes all night. And we're not exactly sure what's going on, but we've been kind of just...
Well,
Can we read through them from
Yeah.
1 to
Can you
5?
scroll through them, Carlos?
yes.
And then I swear we will get to the column after this.
Nah, it's nothing special.
Yeah, no.
Hey.
Well, about half an hour ago, I got this text saying, "Hey, it's so and so, whoever's name of the person is. I don't know if I want to say it.
Right, go ahead.
It said, "Can you check for the shoes for size 7 if not busy?" And I'm thinking,
This is somebody
going,
you never don't
No,
know.
I'm
No,
like,
no,
first
no,
of all,
this
I
is-
don't even work in retail
Right.
anymore. So, I mean, I don't know what they're talking about. So I, of course, responded by saying, "Sure, it's dead here. You know, like the store is dead."
Right, right.
I could check
Right,
for
good
them.
response. Good response.
Right.
Solid.
I didn't want to be rude.
No.
And she goes, "Thanks, let me know." And
You assume it's a she.
right, I would imagine it was the
Probably
same.
she.
My mind is
Alright.
a she.
I said, so I texted back saying, "Hey, we only have size 5, 6, and 8."
So not size 7. The
Yeah,
size that
I
they
said,
want.
"Let me check in the back."
Right.
Okay. So she calls, or she sends a text message saying, "How much is it?"
Right.
And I'm like, "Okay." I'd say $200. Been in the back for a while now.
So your character in this has been trapped, or has been in the back of the store for
Right.
a while now.
So
All right.
you got to hear her response now.
All right.
She goes, "So do they have any in the back room?" and so I go, my response is, "All right, let me check the other room." So she still hasn't sent me back, but I'm kind of serious. I don't know what I should say. I think I should say, "No, we don't have them."
Let me check. There's one
Let me
more
call.
room.
Yeah. Keep seeing how many rooms you go. There's just keep going like there's another room.
There's
Right.
one in the, maybe in the loft.
Right. I'm
Yeah,
gonna see maybe across the store, maybe we call it a different store.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Just keep it going as long as you can.
Right.
All right,
So-
Carlos, you keep us updated on
I
this.
will.
The thrilling
I will.
hunt for the shoes
Oh, I can't
throughout
wait.
the podcast.
Cannot
Feel
wait.
free to keep us updated on that. This is happening in live time.
It is.
This is
Yeah.
we felt the need to address
Well,
it.
not really to the people.
Not to them, but
listening,
for us.
To us,
for
it's
us.
happening
Yeah,
live.
for us. It's like the Mr. Show taped call-in show.
Exactly. Yeah.
So same
Live for us.
Should I go, "Hey, I found a real cute size 8.
I think the next move is to say there's the back door is open and you could just walk out with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I'll
you'll
say-
steal them for her.
No, I'll say the room is locked. Then we go.
The other room is locked.
The other room is locked. Then we go find the key.
It's gonna go on all night. It's like the what was that game on the computer where you just typed in what you had to do? Lewis and Clark or Oregon Trail or whatever.
Oregon
Yeah.
Trail.
Yeah. That's exactly what Carlos is playing right now with some very real person. All right, Carlos, that's thrilling. It's actually way more exciting for us than it is for anybody who's probably listening right now. So anyway, now we're gonna
feel like we're a part of something.
I do. I feel like something bad's gonna happen. All right, we're 20 minutes in, so let's talk about the column.
Oh
here.
yeah, you wrote
Yeah,
a column
I did.
this week.
I did.
You
And-
didn't just douche it out and talk about what we did that night.
No, this is the second non-douching it out column in a row. Yeah, it's not like the Kids in the Hall debacle. No.
Hey, let's just talk. I gotta say one thing. I was talking to my girlfriend about the column, and she listens to the column, and she reads the column, and she listens to the podcast, and she goes, "Oh," and she always calls me, and goes, "So is this one good?"
Yeah.
And my response was, "Well, I don't know. I mean, we're kind of just talking about the Kids in the Hall show we're going to see tonight. I mean, I like to call it that it's Joe's stubbornness, the column.
It pretty much is.
Joe's laziness.
It pretty much is Joe's laziness.
Yeah.
The
It
column.
is.
That one
It
definitely
is.
was. And any chance we get to do that again, I will.
I'm good. Yeah, because we see how wonderfully it turned out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird what happens when we have no plan at all. Things tend to go completely sideways. I get yelled at by the guest.
Yeah.
Drunkenness. Mike drinks more. The guest gets more drunk.
And the guest leaves midway through the show.
The guest just takes up and gets out.
Mm-hmm.
I think at one point Ed was massaging Mark Thomas's foot by accident.
Yeah.
So that was pretty
Nobody
funny.
And I
and nobody
had a-
cared in the room.
And I had beer spilled on me.
Carlos had an
Yeah.
entire beer spilled on him. Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, we'll do that again.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah, I hope Ed's listening. All right, so this week I wrote a column called "The Truth Is in the Silence," and basically what I wrote about was when you're having a conversation with somebody new, could be a friend, but more likely somebody of the opposite sex, who you're interested and attracted to, maybe flirting with. After a couple minutes, there comes the first natural pause in the conversation. So in this column, I kind of ran down like the things that could happen during that natural pause, like the different scenarios that could happen. And then I talk about what happened to me recently when I was out with some friends and I was introduced by a mutual friend. I talked to a girl for a few minutes, and at the end of our conversation, she literally just put her head down, mumbled something, and like ran to the other side of the restaurant with a sense of urgency. Hold on a second. And so anyway, I just talked about like how it was just weird to be a part of. It was a weird
Sure.
social situation.
It was a strange.
It was a strange thing. I wrote about
Strange
it.
event.
I wrote about other things that happened to people. And before we get into that, Carlos has an update.
Yes, she texted back. This person and says, "Is it 200 original or sale price?"
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude,
I
I
so
say
you're supposed to be like you're supposed to be a salesman there or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say
Tell her you
you
can get
should
the,
say that you can steal them. Just say that you can. I
No.
can walk out the back door right now with them and see how she reacts to that.
No, tell him you get the Labor Day discount.
Yeah, the Labor Day discount.
The Labor
Yeah, the Labor Day
It's
discount.
the
was
Labor
great.
Day.
The Labor Day discount.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Right, thank you.
Memorial Day, whatever.
No, Labor Day sounds
go,
better.
Go with Labor Day.
I'm gonna
See if
try
she
with that
notices.
one.
See if she notices.
Yeah.
I'm
say,
sorry.
Say Labor
I
Day.
forgot it's Memorial Day.
Say-
Tell her
say-
she can bring it home for her kids for Christmas.
Actually, yeah, say that she can get the Labor Day discount.
Say Labor Day discount, $195. $5 off. See if at some point she's got to catch on. This isn't real.
I'm gonna play it real.
All right, play it real, Carlos.
You know what? You've got her number. Let's call her on the air.
No.
That won't make her
On the air.
uncomfortable.
That would make Carlos uncomfortable. All right, good. Mike had, I think, the strongest reaction to the idea of the column this week. I mean, it really hit home with you.
Yep.
Yeah. I think there's a whole thing about a comfortable silence, and when you can reach that with people, it's awesome. And really, I'd rather reach it more with my barber, because every time I have to go get my hair cut, I hate making up conversations.
Yeah. Totally.
and or having to feel like you talk. I just want to sit there and watch them cut my hair.
Sure.
But I have yet been able to attain that. And I actually went to Carlos's stylist.
Really, a stylist? Not
It's not a barber. It's a
No,
stylist.
but you called him a barber, and I think he got mad at you.
Well, it's funny. So does he perm you? I mean, how is he a
He just-
stylist?
he
What does
just
he do?
Stylists make $10 more an hour
Yeah.
than barbers.
Yeah, but I believe that they put your hair into a style, whereas a barber just cuts the hair.
No, they cut the hair, but they don't shave you. in a sense. You know, they don't put you in that whole setup. And yeah.
Wait, who? The barber or the stylist?
The stylist doesn't shave you.
Well, I've never been shaved by a barber either. But
well, that's your loss, buddy.
So anyway, the reason I went to Carlos's stylist is because he's Argentinian and he doesn't really speak any English. So I'm like, hey, this will be perfect. You know, I'll
very perfect.
I'll just go in. We won't be able to communicate. So, you know, I'll just sit down and just let him cut my hair. We won't have to talk. But, you know, it didn't turn out that way because when I went to see him, he's a good barber and everything, or a good stylist, whatever you want to call him. He cuts hair well, but he still feels that need to talk. And so he and I had to exchange words with a series of grunts and groans. Like we were reduced to cavemen because we couldn't communicate with each other.
Well, how did that go?
Well, he'd be like, you know, he'd do something with my hair, and then he'd look in the mirror and be like, and I'd be like, hey. And then
that's the way we always talk, Mike.
That's how
that's the language.
He'd look at a magazine like with some hot
guy
on it. He'd be like, and I'm like, no, you know.
I like how Mike had to like grunt also, like you know Bueno, right?
Yeah.
And you know Malo, right?
Yeah.
That's all you had to say. Bueno and Malo.
Well, no. But listen, I mean, you know, if an alien comes down to you and tries to communicate with
you,
he
wasn't.
we know exactly how that feels.
Yeah.
No, if
he's not an alien, though.
If an alien comes down, you want to try to speak its language.
But
you know?
he's not an alien. He's from Argentina.
Right.
Right.
He's illegal.
That's actually on Earth.
He's a legal alien.
He's legal.
What I'm saying is we had to, you know, come up with a communication because I don't speak, you know,
Spanish.
But you know Bueno, right?
Yeah, but I wouldn't have said bueno in those situations.
See, you know see?
Yes.
You don't know? There's only 2 words you need to know during your haircut.
Yeah, but you know, it's like when you start talking to a person,
it's not like he's
you know, when you talk to a baby, you don't talk to it like
bad example because babies don't speak and neither do aliens.
Exactly, but you talk in baby language.
How about a dog?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, really, when you talk to a baby, you don't talk to it like a baby.
No, but talk
to it like you talk to your professor.
I'm telling you to talk to an Argentinian like an Argentinian, not like a caveman.
Well, I can't speak Spanish. So
yes, but we just determined that you can understand 4 Spanish words.
Am I supposed to just speak soccer?
I think, you know what it sounds like?
Soccer.
You know what it sounds like?
Should I just speak soccer? Should
Mike,
I just be like,
okay, so Spanish is a language, not a stereotype. But I can see how you'd make that.
Are you going back to illegal aliens now?
Sean just said Spanish.
No, I'm just saying.
What kind of alien are you talking about, Michael?
What was his name?
Don't bring this name up.
No.
Because you're going to embarrass the guy.
I'm sure he listens to our English podcast. I'm sure he listens to it.
Our stylist.
Yes. What's his name?
Your stylist.
Ariel. That's his name.
Yeah, Ariel.
Yeah. No, he's a really nice guy.
How do you know?
Because you can tell by people's mentality.
Did he groan? What you know? What, Mike? Your refusal to speak the language that you know, because you know 4 words of Spanish at least. Like your refusal that it sounds to me like you just wanted to grunt with another man. That's what the whole thing sounds like. Well, you wanted to grunt with a guy.
That's all I could do.
No, it's all you wanted to do.
All you
knew sí, no, bueno, malo.
The man didn't speak to me in any Spanish. We just communicated by grunts and groans. That's what it came down to.
If you would have let him know, you walk into a room and obviously you don't look like you speak Spanish, right? But you see this guy and you see that he obviously speaks Spanish, and you know yourself Sean, that you speak enough Spanish. You need to introduce that to him.
Here's the problem. See, if I couldn't speak Spanish, I probably wouldn't be going to this stylist because he only takes like a certain, he takes Argentinians and like Carlos, who can actually speak Spanish and communicate with.
He takes anybody.
Yeah,
that's why you're there.
So how many non-English speaking people go to see this barber that can't speak English? Or the stylist, I'm sorry.
He speaks English. I think he didn't understand you.
Well, then we go back to...
Now we're back to Dave's letter.
Did you ever say anything to him?
Yeah, you know what?
In English? Like, did he ever say, hello, how are you?
Could you see the barber afterwards, like, turning to, like, his assistant, like, I speak 2 languages, and I did not understand a word Mike Constantine said.
I think that's what happened.
I think exactly what happened.
I don't think he exists.
I do not think that man has a language or an existence.
No.
And then he looks down and there's no hair on the floor. I don't think I cut anything.
Wow.
Yeah, Mike's just gone.
No, the man, like he cut my hair well, but at the same time, like even not being able to communicate with someone, that's worse. You know, that's the worst form of like a silence. You know, it's like when you really can't communicate.
Yeah,
with someone.
the worst part about a silence is the lack of communication.
Yeah,
I agree.
At least when you can communicate, like in the same language,
Yeah.
you could just come up with some random bullshit that just happened to you.
Like the weather?
Like, oh, you know, I got this great piece of fish like earlier today. You know, you could say something like that. I mean, it would still fly.
I think this reminds me of the gazebo story where it may or may not have happened.
Yeah.
The pointing at the girl and the thing. Like,
well,
I don't know.
I went to 5 haircut. Well, another problem. What was that? Another problem was every time I went, I had an appointment at like 2:30. I didn't get out of there till 5:30.
Yeah, that's
because all of a sudden all these
I do agree.
Argentinian models walk in and they all
gee, that's
get
horrible.
their haircut before like me.
Really?
awful that must have been. Terrible. All right.
Wow. I'm exhausted.
I don't think that conversation went as badly as Mike claims.
No,
I
I think this one certainly did.
This.
I'm kind of a man without a country because
you're a man without a lot of things.
you know, like a man without a country is a man without a barber. Like
Well,
you just have no sense of.
Are you talking about The Terminal? Like about that Tom Hanks movie?
No, not at all. Like
Because that could happen maybe one day.
that could see it happening to Mike in like some Middle Eastern country or something.
Yeah.
He's just stuck
because he refuses to speak the 5 words he
that
knows
they
in
taught him.
Farsi.
He just wants to groan in Farsi.
Yeah.
I mean, I've randomly been going to this one barbershop called Floyd's, and
That's not a real barbershop.
it kind of is, but it kind of
No,
isn't.
that's not the name.
Why
of
isn't
it?
it a real barbershop?
Well, Floyd? Come on.
you're
Barbershop.
just
Are
saying,
barbershops
okay.
still around?
Floyd was the name of the barber in the Andy Griffith Show.
Okay,
All right.
that's great.
Wow.
This
All right,
is-
I won't finish.
This better have a spectacular.
Yeah,
ending.
can we do a whole
Finish-
podcast dedicated to this called Mike's Haircut
Mike's
Corner?
haircut corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How does the story finish?
Yeah, just say the last line of the
Give the
story,
last-
and then we'll let you do the middle if we agree.
Right. That's a perfect way to put it.
In fact, that's how all your stories are going to be from now on.
boy.
I'll let this one pass to another.
Passive
Mike's
aggressive.
angry.
It is.
Sorry, Mike. We've only dedicated 34 of the 36 minutes of the podcast to you tonight.
Right.
So far. Mike's surly.
Oh my gosh.
Don't be surly.
Oh my! Oh, he's not even talking. He just got off the mic.
He's backed off the mic.
Oh,
my
it's like
gosh.
he's eating.
Wow.
The mic's muted.
Oh, yeah.
He's muted his mic. All right.
I don't want to be around after this podcast.
Yeah. I know. You're lucky I'm taking you home.
Hey, yeah, I know.
Yep. All right. Very good.
Jeez. Oh, jeez.
Very good. Well, okay. We're going to move on to the column. Yeah.
There's a bug in here.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
All right.
Okay.
Oh,
Here's the deal. Sean, you talked about
Yeah.
when you read the column. You had a comment about when girls burp.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Jeez, I don't know how to phrase this. I'm kind of hot and cold with women and belching.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I find it very attractive,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it utterly disgusts me.
And what's the difference?
It's really difficult. Like the easy way out would be, and like the assumption would be like, oh, when attractive girls burp, I love it. When less attractive girls burp, I don't. And that's not the case at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it really, it's definitely the type of girl, but I wouldn't say attractiveness is central to it. And it's also the type of burp. There's a type of burp that's very kind of
Like a juicy burp?
yeah. I think maybe it's the difference between a burp and a belch. If
Like
a
a
girl
cute little
burps,
girl.
it's
a
like
cute girl burp. Like
yeah, it's like
I thought
oh.
burping and belching were the same thing.
Well, I think he's trying to say there's like a deep guttural belch, and then there's a cute little burp.
There's like a small little burp is like it's kind of cute. It's almost kind of like it's like a subtle thing that's like, oh, that's funny. That's a cute little quirk. It's the difference between a quirk and like a whoa,
A bad
hey
habit.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it smells afterwards,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, there are some girls who are just like, I don't know if I don't say they act like guys, but they're just kind of like, I'm gonna burp in front of you, and then you're
Yeah.
kind of but like in a way, if they're like really consistently honest and cool, you're kind of like, oh, all right.
That's like tomboy.
Yeah.
It's like but it's all right. Like,
It's if you're putting on a show, I think, is the difference. Is there's girls who just feel comfortable enough to burp.
Right.
And it's like, I love that. That's great.
yeah,
You know?
Well, yeah.
But
My
then there's
sister
girls who
does,
are
right?
doing it to try and like they want to be one of the guys.
Yeah.
But they don't. They just want the attention of the burp.
Here,
Maybe they don't though. Maybe they just want to burp. You know?
I don't think anyone wants to burp.
yeah, because here's the
Yeah, I
thing.
think we
like,
all do. I mean,
every-
I get pressure in my stomach and I need to let it out.
you,
Oh boy.
Do you know one night?
Fight the urge to make the next 10 minutes about Mike.
One night I had
Yes, Mike. What happened?
one night I had really bad stomach cramps. You know,
Really?
Yeah. And I just let out this enormous belch. It was the loudest one I've ever let out. And it was just really loud, but it felt so good because then all my stomach cramps went away.
And then what happened?
Good.
Oh, really?
You know?
Here's
I think you burp because you have to. I don't think like girls do it just to prove something.
Well, here's the question I have: like, what's better, like a girl who burps naturally, or like I could say every girl I've ever gone out with, like, has held her burps, farts, poops, everything. Like
That's good.
Like-
That's a good thing.
that's the question. Like I've never
They would spontaneously combust.
That's the thing. I don't know why they have not.
I will say this right here, right now. I don't mind a girl farting in front of me.
No.
Really?
Because you're not faking that. And here's the thing: I think that girls they'll do the belch thing, and they'll do it. It's kind of like, to me, it's kind of when you're hanging out with a group of guys, they kind of like, I'm not interested in any of you guys. I'll just fucking be disgusting in front of you.
Right.
Which kind of takes me back. But when a girl like accidentally lets out a fart or something like that, and then kind of plays it off cool, I'm like, hey, that's badass.
Right.
Like, cool, because you're not. I don't think anyone in their right mind would fart in front of me to let me know that they're not attracted to me.
Right.
Have you ever
have to
seen
be pretty gone.
Have you ever seen pictures of someone that spontaneously combusted? It's really disgusting. All it is a pair of legs and then ashes, and everything else around is not burned.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I don't think that's true either.
I don't. Everything that you almost believe is actually does not
true.
exist. Really.
Again, this goes back to the
Wow.
Mike doesn't
Well,
exist.
well, like what?
thing.
Aliens and
Aliens.
Well, that's hard to say that aliens don't exist in a universe we don't even
wow.
know where the end
No,
is.
your barbershop conversations, your
Right.
gazebo point and shoots, like
Yeah.
all that. It's all.
You were there.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it
Again,
there.
we didn't see that.
You didn't see me like
I saw you
playing
in the
guitar and,
gazebo. I didn't see you pointing at girls and winking at them and giving them the whatnot. So
Yeah.
anyway, I just think that there's like alternative versions of history that exist.
Yeah, there's
So-
there's an alternative universe going on, and Mike's living in that
Absolutely,
universe.
absolutely. So, all right, Carlos.
Carlos, you got another
Because
text.
this is
Yeah.
Give,
Well,
give us an update.
I responded when she asked me if it was original price or sale price, and I go, $120 for Labor Day sale.
Right,
Labor Day.
Labor
Did
Day.
you actually
Yeah.
say Labor Day?
Yeah, and she goes, okay, thanks.
That's it.
And I'm like, so I want to fish around saying what color.
Say no, write her back and say, all right, $75, but that's my final offer.
Oh.
Just go crazy now and sell. I can walk out of the back room with them for free or something.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do
It's
it.
what you don't want this person to think you
I don't
steal?
want to. I don't want
You
to.
want to ruin your reputation?
I don't
with
want
the
to
person
falsely steal
Well,
something
you know,
like in a
it's funny,
fantasy.
you're not stealing anything.
Carlos realizes that tonight is the night he can reinvent himself to one person,
one person.
as an honest,
He could be the man
upstanding
he
shoe
always wanted to be.
salesman.
The
No.
man he always wanted to
It's
be.
funny because she actually has Carlos's number. So
Yeah.
I bet you anything. This girl does not burp. If she's asking
Ask
for
her.
shoes.
Ask her
Ask
right
her
now
if she
burps.
burps.
Yeah,
Let me
just
see.
Yeah,
ask
say,
her,
do
do you
I'm
belch?
trying to settle a thing with my friends on my
Yeah.
podcast, the second column.
Yeah. Do you burp? Yeah. Good question. Good question.
But yeah, just really quick to wrap it all up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that for me, the main issue is when a girl genuinely is comfortable enough to burp or fart in front of me, I'm 100% there. But when a girl's trying to kind of tell me that she's not attracted to me, I'm not there.
So you've actually
I don't
had a
dig
girl like just fart in front of you just to say that she's not attracted to you?
No, but I have had girls burp and kind of belch in front of me when I'm with a group of guys that maybe not me specifically, but she's trying to be like, listen, I can
like
do
you.
this with you
Yeah.
guys. Like, it's the kind of idea of like, I'm comfortable with you guys,
Yeah.
but I'll hold this in with other guys. And it kind of just is, that
That's a-
pisses me
Now-
off.
That's
now
a turn off.
Now I feel bad
Yeah.
because like I've never been with a girl who was like all like just open with her burping and
No, that's
farting
good
and-
though.
I have a,
Joe. That's
I have a
good.
couple
Yeah.
really close girlfriends who, not a romantic thing.
Oh,
though.
see, I have some girlfriends, not a romantic thing.
and they're completely open with that, and they'll
Right.
do it in front of me like it's nobody's business.
but can you really know a person until you know their farts?
No.
No, I don't
Well,
think so.
the
either.
thing. No, but the
Who
thing
would
is,
define someone by their farts? Like what? I mean,
I don't know if it
texture,
defines
smell.
you. Everything.
Everything.
When my parents got married, no shit, my mom told me this. When my parents got married, they met with a priest before they got married, like a
Whoa.
whatever
Pre-cana.
yeah.
an
called
exorcist.
No, it's called pre-cana.
No.
It's a church
Okay.
tradition.
And the priest, one of the questions he asked was, "Have you ever farted in front of each other?"
Good question.
With your
Am-
jokester.
Am I no? But as a genuine kind of serious thing of how close are you guys? How comfortable are you together? And my parents both went, "Oh yeah, oh yeah."
See?
Is he also a part-time clown? Too? The
I
priest?
would respect it if you didn't
I think he
defile
was.
my religion.
I think he
Carlos.
was.
I agree.
I stood up for your Argentinian people to Mike
agree.
the
Wow.
blathering racist.
I apologize
excuse
for
me.
the
No,
chalk.
you didn't stand up for me. It was because Mike's
Excuse me,
Mike's
Sean.
explanation was so ridiculous that
You've
know.
never had your hair cut by an Argentinian
Oh.
stylist.
I don't know what that means.
He's actually not Argentinian.
What does that mean?
yet another.
Yeah.
You told me he was from Argentina.
No, he's not.
You just assumed he was.
He's Cuban.
You just assumed he was because he was playing soccer with 10 guys in the
one of his. I got my hair washed because I guess stylists, they wash your hair, right?
Yeah.
And I got my hair washed by a very, very gay Argentinian man, and I gotta say it was one of the most sensual head massages I've ever had. And I just
was Carlos that Argentinian?
No, Carlos was there. No. Carlos was there that day, and I told him about it. I closed my eyes and I just pretended it was Natasha Lyonne before her drug days giving me the massage, and it really turned out nice. The imagination is spectacular.
Did you know about her drug days at that time?
No, I didn't.
I was going to say, did you have to imagine her
Wow.
from before the drug days?
It was in the cute, Natasha Lyonne days, before.
Jeez.
Let's do just a whole podcast about Mike talking about getting his hair cut.
Yes.
And
Well, I
washed.
think we
because
just did
I think we
one.
just
It's
did.
a dramatic
No, I mean,
experience.
but clearly there's a lot more. We didn't even get to that story before.
Oh,
we didn't get
yeah.
to Floyd's barbershop. I mean, we got to get back there.
I want to check out Floyd's barbershop.
Well, actually, you do, Carlos, because it's hot women.
You know
Floyd-
what? I know you're lying. There's no way in hell in LA that there's a barbershop
All right,
with
listeners.
a barber pole and hot women going in.
Listeners, I want you to remember this
Hold
night
up.
now.
No.
Carlos, you will come with me there next time.
there. No, I'm not going
You
to go
tell me.
anywhere with you.
Tell me,
Stop pointing.
tell me how many hot. There's so many hot barbers at
This is
Floyd's.
Supercuts. This is Supercuts.
Yes, it is, but with hot.
You
hot
just said
barbers.
Floyd's.
Hot barbers, Floyd's.
All right.
It's Supercuts with very hot barbers, and it's amazing.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I ended up getting a butch
right.
woman for my
Of course,
haircut the last time.
of course you did.
Joe's prompting me for the aftermath.
We're gonna.
Thank you.
We finally come to that part of the show. We've come to the aftermath. There it is.
Wow.
Guys, we can do final thoughts, or we can do Carlos's original idea, which was to do each of our.
What has the least amount of mic in it?
Probably. Oh man. I don't
Nothing.
know.
Let's do Carlos.
Nothing.
Carlos had
Let's
a
do
great
Carlos's
idea.
idea.
Let's
So
go with
I had this idea in the column about kind of like a fantasy I have about like a girl coming back from the bathroom and being like, man, you don't want to go in there for like 45 minutes,
Right.
or just somebody like kind of just like being really honest or just being funny, goofy, whatever. Like it's almost like one of the guys. It's just like having that level of fun and frivolity and whatever you want to call it, where it's like, yeah, that's cool. You can joke around about that kind of stuff. And then it kind of prompted Carlos to think like, well, what are the rest of our unconventional fantasies? And I guess we'll.
Well, let's start with Mike.
Let's
You're
start
gonna
with
have to,
Mike.
Mike. Yeah.
This is gonna. I feel like I'm standing on the train tracks and there's a train 15 feet away and it's about to hit me.
Don't say train.
I
Just
know.
make
I
it
feel
more
like
excited.
I feel like I'm in a garden with corn that's about to overtake me.
Okay.
What, Mike, what's your
since you
unconventional?
all feel this way.
What's your unconventional?
I'm going
fantasy?
to stay my
What?
my last thoughts tonight. I will just say that
Uh-oh.
Dave, it was very good, truthful.
Wait, no.
Thank you.
We're doing.
And,
we're
and
doing.
wait a second, you just
wait.
took so much time to explain that.
Wait,
Now I want to hear your
no,
final
I'm just
thoughts.
gonna say.
No,
I'm gonna
what's
say
your
tonight.
unconventional
What's your
fantasy, Mike?
unconventional fantasy? We're very.
I'm
excited
genuinely
about
interested
it.
about
We all
this.
want to know.
Well, really?
Yes.
Because I would have guessed differently by
No.
Well,
just
we
how
wouldn't-
you announced me.
No,
in.
no. This is why people watch horror movies.
Yes.
We wouldn't ask you if you wouldn't know. Come on, tell us.
We just heard gunshots and
tell
there's
us.
sirens
want you-
outside. I want to
want
see
Joe
a
to
dead
re-ask
body.
it actually in the fact that in the manner that
Please tell me. We would all like to hear what is your, much like mine in the column. What is your unconventional fantasy?
All right. I like train spotting, so I'd like to go train spotting one day. Have a big old train drive up next to me, and then just stop right in front of me so that I can look at the train.
You haven't even mentioned women yet.
With the girl?
You didn't let me finish.
Oh.
Engineer gets out. Really hot.
Oh, I know.
Brunette, blue eyes.
You know what I thought?
She gets out and she says, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, just watching the trains." And then she asked me to get in the engine, and ride with her. 'Cause I always wanted to do that, ride in the engine.
Okay.
You know,
And then when I get in the engine, there's a basket of garlic and tomatoes.
Okay, we'll stop right there.
Yeah, good.
And
know-
apparently she gardens too.
Okay. I thought Mike was gonna say that he was gonna put like a girl in on the tracks, like
On the
tie-
tracks,
on a
like
track, on a
Dudley
track.
Do-Right or
yes,
whatever?
that's what I thought he was gonna do. But no, actually, your fantasy is actually cooler.
All right, Mike. That's
And
actually you can tell Mike's thought about that before.
Yeah, of course I have. And I would like to say that Dave's apology was very good. It was unnecessary, but truthful.
Did you listen to it? I mean, did you really listen
Yeah,
to it?
and it's truthful. And
All right.
And the thing is, now No, Sean, I'm going to wait for him to calm down laughing. And last weekend, I actually met a girl at a barbecue, and it was pretty cool.
When did that be? This week?
Well, this
last week.
is going to air on
Yeah,
Sunday.
so it's technically last week.
All right.
And yeah, it was good. I had one of those like comfortable silences
You know,
on the first time of talking, and it was
good.
good. And the true test is to, really like, see what she does when I eat in front of her, because I do tend to eat like a lordly king that just battled half of Mesopotamia
But from what
and
I-
won.
Yeah. Yeah.
From when I saw an email, it said house or horse. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Horse.
Carlos, let Mike
All right, hold on.
finish.
No, Mike. Here's the thing.
Mike
Mike,
Oh.
Mike, aren't you making? You're going to call her for the first time tonight, aren't you?
Well, it's not true.
Can you do it on the air?
I think you should. I think you should call her
She-
tonight.
Come on.
On the air. On the air.
On the
I
air.
did text her I
About
did
shoes?
text her the first night that I met her, and I just said, "Hey, it was good talking to you," and she said the same thing. Now, the reason I waited so long is because she works for a big director, and apparently he was leaving town. Either I think it was last night.
She's got to give him the leaving town blow.
So she was going to be really busy. No, this was just when we were talking about this. It wasn't about like call me then or now. It's just I was just listening to her. And
Right,
she
but
said,
so
Wait, you were
call her tonight,
listening
though?
so I'm
and
going
not
to call her
talking?
tonight.
Yeah, that's what was my point. Mike's going to call her tonight, and
I'm going to call her tonight eating an In-N-Out burger, because I figure that if she can stand my chewing, then it'll be fine. After that, I'm going to get it out of the way.
It's good to like put a gauntlet in front of a woman
no kidding.
before.
No, talk about Shelly.
Wouldn't you agree?
I think you ought to call her, just say hello, and then not say anything, and see how that uncomfortable silence goes. Just like, hey.
Women love a great test.
Oh, wow. Very
Yeah.
smooth.
I don't know about over the phone though. That's pretty tough.
If she lasts a minute, you probably marry her.
It's all about testing a woman, because that's what
Yeah,
they
it's all
want.
about
They want to be
testing a woman.
quizzed and grilled.
Yeah.
And thank you, Joe. That was very genuine the way you asked me. That was very nice of you.
I was genuinely wanted to know. I think
Sean, you need to work on it.
I
Carlos,
think everyone wants to know.
What was that?
thanks for all the introductions too. Yeah, he was a good barber. He really was.
All right, let's move
Yeah,
on.
no
Carlos,
problem.
tell us your strange, weird, not weird, but your unconventional fantasy.
Well, I think it might be weird.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
I
go
don't know. I think it's kind of two different ones. I say, I like a lot of these. I don't know what they call them. I guess bad girls with those tattoos. Those kind of like really.
There's actually a name for those girls.
Yeah, I think it's called suicide
Girls,
Yeah, like those are really.
That's a real name, really.
yeah.
yeah.
If you
Why
go-
Suicide Girls?
it's a look. It's like
Yeah.
it's like being a goth chick. It's like it's a
Something like
look.
that.
Huh.
It's a look.
I like those girls. So it'd be cool going, to a club. Like, how the way I look, like fucking, such a square.
Yeah,
It'd
with
be-
your Star Wars
yeah,
shirt
my
on.
Star Wars shirt on.
Your jeans,
My jeans.
stupid glasses.
And
You're wearing
just-
a My Bloody Valentine shirt.
Well,
Yeah, but-
that would work, I think.
Yeah, but
suicide.
Carlos normally dresses much dorkier.
Yes. So I think it'd be cool being in a different, like, somebody out of water. What do you
Fish
call
out of
it?
water.
Fish out of water.
Fish out of water.
And there's that. And the other one is more of a fantasy where if I knew two lesbians. They're a lesbian couple.
What's unconventional about that?
And no, but they wanted to have sex with me, and because they wanted to have a child, and I was like, I guess the best suit, but I had to have sex with either one of them.
Get them both pregnant?
Yeah, get them both pregnant, but like either one with whoever gets pregnant first was like a competition. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But all I would have was just the sex. And then, like, they would take care of the baby.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it would probably be maybe these suicide girls.
It's sex
hopefully.
without responsibility.
So that would, because then
Yeah.
it would be sex
So
without
you
responsibility.
dream about fatherhood that you have no part of.
Right. Well, I would have a part of, but I would have like the good part of
Uncle, kind of a-
kind of like an
Yeah.
uncle wouldn't be around.
Yeah, kind of like an uncle.
Yeah.
Sean's showing Mike what a suicide girl looks
Yeah,
like
I'm
right
passing
now
around.
on his.
They've got a website.
Yeah.
It's pretty attractive. I like the colored hair.
Yeah.
They're hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very hot.
So that would be my
Carlos,
fantasy.
that is truly unconventional.
Yes.
That's and I can tell you've thought that through also.
Oh yeah.
Like all those bus rides.
Oh. When I'm listening to my iPod, I'm not really listening. I'm thinking.
You're thinking about your.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, get on Craigslist. Make that happen.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, good. Sean, yeah, yourself.
Yeah, so I knew this guy. He was actually one of my aunt's neighbors, and we have holidays all the time, and she always fucking invites like a friend or like some just weird person from where she lives. She invited this guy. He was probably 400, 350 pounds, 5'1",
Whoa.
5'2", just like perfectly round.
Like Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah. And he had this wife.
You don't see that perfectly round people anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like he literally like round, and then each part of his body was kind of like an oval. Like his arms were 2 ovals. His
Was he
fingers were
drawn by a
ovals.
3rd grader?
Yeah.
Okay.
He looked exactly like
Alright.
what a 3rd grade kid would draw, and he even wore his pants like up to the belly button.
Right.
So, and he was just a weird guy, and he had this mail order bride.
Oh.
And what he had done is it wasn't mail order bride. He'd actually had gone to Tijuana
Oh.
and taken her back, but it was more like a mail order situation without the mail.
She was a coach class international flight bride.
Exactly.
All right.
And they actually going back to and God mercifully so, I'm gonna call back to Mike's story about the Argentinian stylist.
Yeah.
Right.
But they didn't speak the same language. She obviously did not speak English, and he did. But it was really creepy. Their relationship was just very strange. Like he'd come here, sugar, give me some sugar.
Ew.
And she was very like all smiles, like
Yeah.
oblivious
Like,
to what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it really creeped me out. But kind of my fantasy with that is maybe that I would get a mail order bride or something like that, and she'd be really freaked out because like, oh my God, like what if it's gonna be like that guy?
Right.
Then she gets here and I'm just really fucking cool and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
like I want to be the guy who's got a mail order bride who doesn't need a mail order bride, because I
just has
feel
one.
like that would impress the mail order bride.
Right.
Because she's used to
Yeah.
having people that need mail order brides, and then she sees me and she's like, hey, you could have like gone on a date, and I'd be like, yeah, but I got shit to do.
But
so
you'd be
I
doing
ordered
it
you.
for a hobby.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, pretty much.
I kind of like the idea of Sean, like set up the expectation it's gonna be some big hog man.
Yeah.
That's
You know?
the point. Yeah.
Almost like have the hog man drive to the airport and pick her up or something.
and then she's so.
and then she's like, oh, she's like crying and like thinking about how she's gonna kill herself when she gets to the house.
And then she sees me and she can't
she
help
sees
but be
Sean.
impressed. I'm not saying that I'm the best person in the world. I'm just saying that I beat that.
Right.
It's like just ordering, it's kind of like the new Indiana Jones movie. I'm really hyping myself down because I'm afraid
Right.
I'm not going to like it. So I keep going, that movie's going to suck. That
Right.
movie's going to be shitty, because I hope that when I see it, I'm going to go, it wasn't that bad.
Uh-huh.
I want to set that up for her that she thinks, oh my God, my life is over. And then she sees me and she goes, hey, that's not that bad. It's
Right.
probably got a 70 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Sure.
You know?
right. You want a girl who's gonna look at you and say, I won't kill myself tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
You know, I have something similar. I have where I go into one of those places where you do meet mail order brides kind
Yeah.
of thing, but like, well, it would be here. But it would
This
be
library?
whatever. I don't know. It would be
'Cause there's a few.
But I would go in there. But I would go in there by mistake, and then come in, and then act like I don't know what's going on, and then come in there and just kick ass.
Yeah.
Wait,
and just
kick
like
ass.
clean up.
Yeah.
Oh, just like they would love you.
Yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
like, oh no, I wasn't looking. I was looking. I got lost. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
where
was
am.
I was trying to find the
The porn shop.
the photo mart.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And I wandered into
That's something I would do.
That's good. Again, like you are like accidentally coming by.
Yes.
Your children. Or
Oh, I
your
have
women.
more.
All right, let's
Oh,
close it.
right.
Let's finish it
Back.
out. We have
All right.
the public demands it.
It says, let's see. I asked her. I said, "Do you burp in public?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "Why do you ask?" And so let's see. I wrote.
That whole conversation
This is
took a
getting so
left-hand
confusing.
turn.
I know.
It was about shoes a minute ago.
Yeah. So she goes, "Why do you ask?" I said, "Cause I just did by accident." And she goes, "Not usually, but I guess you can't help it, you know."
Oh.
And then I go, and then she writes back saying, "Sounds good, but don't have in my size." And I go, "No, sorry, maybe next week. Audi 500."
Audi 500. Nice. You should actually, you know what, Carl? You should have written overdrive.
Yeah.
So now we thought of it now, so it's all right. It's quite all right.
That's
All right.
great.
Very good, Carlos.
She had a complete conversation with someone she didn't know.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. Carlos,
amazing.
well played, sir.
Thank you.
That was
I don't know why that's so funny. It just is.
By the way, I'm gonna retire a robot host, just like the guy.
No,
not yet.
Just like the
No.
Borat guy.
Ladies and
Wait, if
Best
you
character.
retire robot host, Mike has to retire himself.
No.
Yeah, Mike-
That's the idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will have RoboHost back.
RoboHost.
All
Is
right.
He's got to be coming back.
RoboHost is the only thing you have going for you. as a
What?
comedian.
Yeah.
It pretty much is.
I'm
See, that's
wor-
the difference. Sasha Baron Cohen has a couple characters up his belt. You got
have
shit.
one. You have
You're like
one
the
character.
ultimate warrior.
I am a
retiring.
character.
You have one. You are like a kick return specialist.
What?
If you're not catching punts on the 20-yard line, you have no reason to get in the
Hey,
game.
but when I make a touchdown.
That's what I'm saying. RoboHost can score a touchdown.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, I'm
reprogramming
retiring.
him. I'm reprogramming as we speak.
Yes.
Oh no! All right, we'll bring RoboHost back some other time. I think if I ever can't make a show, we'll have RoboHost host the show.
Yeah.
Host.
Yeah.
Overdrive.
That would be awesome. I would like that. I really want to miss a show now. Just have RoboHost host the show. Very good, guys. All right. I don't think we have any live shows to plug coming up.
That's probably the reason why we don't plug.
If anybody's gonna be in San Diego,
San
in
Diego
the
in
next 2
June.
weeks,
Yeah,
we're
San
gonna
Diego
be-
on June 10th at Lestat's
I
Coffee Shop.
I'm not gonna be there though.
We're
Hero
gonna be there.
Style.
Yeah.
Hero Style's doing 15 minutes down there.
Will
Awesome.
I be
it's gonna
there?
Fun. We're going down with Ed Galvez.
Uh-oh.
I think his girlfriend's gonna come down. It'll be fun.
Double uh-oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Oh, boy.
Carlos, you're invited to come down if you want to come
All
down.
right, maybe I'll go.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna lug the bar all the way down. there.
Carlos
Yeah.
can't come down, but
So-
RoboHost can.
Yeah, RoboHost can come. You can introduce us.
I will introduce everybody
And I'll
except
say-
for Michael because he doesn't exist.
You can introduce people
Overdrive.
to each other in the audience.
Yes, I go. I will just only ask questions, not wait for answers.
And I'll say to our podcast listeners, if you're at all interested, I'll keep you up to date on what's happening with this new girl that I met.
Yes.
And we'll see
Well,
if she
Yeah.
survives
I'm
the chewing
interested.
and the mess. You know?
I think that's a really. I think we all want to hear that. I think
Yeah.
it's really good.
If anybody does really want to hear it, just write in Joe at what's the
Yeah. Joe Donatelli column at gmail.com.
Yeah.
plug.
Yep. As you can see, as evidenced by Dave's letter, if you write to us, we will use it
We
on the
will
air.
use it.
So very
And
good.
Dave, seriously, man, good job, well done.
I swear to God, Mike didn't listen to.
Wait,
this-
wait,
this-
no, just wait till I get back to Japan.
For
That's
the
all I have to
record,
say.
I eat with my mouth open.
Do you RoboHost?
Wow.
Yes. Why do you eat with your mouth open?
Why do you eat? You're a robot. I
Hey.
didn't program you to eat.
No, but you did program me to fake eat.
With his
That's
mouth open.
with my mouth
See, You're his
open.
creator. so-
Well, that's true. I did want some.
And for the
So-
record, hate those moments of silence. Always asking questions.
RoboHost never lets him because that's television.
Of course.
All right, very good. RoboHost, and if you like that little taste of RoboHost, there'll be more to come.
Yes. What?
Aren't you forgetting your key ending
Goodbye.
phrase?
Oh, I have to say goodbye. Goodbye, RoboHost.
Overdrive.
There we go. All right,
There.
very good. Very
Guys,
good.
not
And
malfunctioning.
you can't end a podcast any better than that. We'll be back next week with another second column.
That's all for this episode of The Second Column. For more information, go to joedonatelli.com.